The transport ship shook as it came out of hyperspace. Dr. Park Minji pressed her face against the small window and gasped. The planet Ethros hung in front of them like a giant blue jewel. Purple and green lights danced across its surface like the northern lights back on Earth. "Beautiful, isn't it?" said Captain Lee Dong-yuk from behind her. "Wait until you see the Falcons." Minji had traveled 3 months to get here. She was a scientist who studied alien animals. The sky falcons of Ethros were the most mysterious creatures in the galaxy. No one had ever touched one. No one had ever gotten close to one. For 300 years, the best scientists from 12 different alien races had tried and failed. The research station came into view. It was huge, bigger than any building on Earth. It looked like a metal flower floating in space, with long arms reaching out toward the planet. Ships from many different worlds were docked at its ports. "That's your new home," Captain Dong-yuk said. "Good luck, Dr. Park. You're going to need it." An hour later, Minji stood in the station's main hall. The ceiling was made of clear glass, showing the planet and stars above. Aliens of all shapes and sizes moved around her. Some looked like giant crystals that walked on legs. Others were made of gas and floated in clear suits. A few looked almost human, but had blue skin and 4 arms. "Dr. Park Minji from Earth?" Deep voice spoke behind her. She turned around. A tall alien with red skin and golden eyes looked down at her. He wore a military uniform covered in medals. His head had small horns, and his teeth were sharp like a shark's. "Yes, that's me," Minji said. "I am Commander Rakseth of the Corvani Empire. Welcome to Research Station Ethros." He did not smile. "I hope you understand what you have gotten yourself into." Commander Rakseth led her through the station. The halls were full of noise and activity. Scientists argued in languages she had never heard. Machines beeped and flashed. Through the windows, she could see the planet below. "The sky falcons are not normal animals," Rakseth explained as they walked. "They are bigger than your Earth eagles. Their feathers look like pieces of the rainbow. They can fly through space without air. They can appear and disappear like ghosts." They stopped at a large room full of screens and computers. Dozens of scientists worked at desks. All of them looked frustrated and tired. "This is the main research lab," Rakseth said. "Every day we try new ways to study the falcons. Every day we fail." A scientist that looked like a walking crystal came over to them. When it spoke, its voice sounded like wind chimes. "Commander, we tried the resonance scanner. Again today." The falcon appeared for 3 seconds, then vanished. "We got no useful data." "And the Nethri team?" Rakseth asked. "They attempted mind contact. The falcon fled before they could establish a link." Rakseth turned to Minji. "Dr. Park, meet Dr. Zeleth of the Vorthek Collective. Dr. Zeleth, this is the human scientist I told you about." Dr. Zeleth's crystal body flashed different colors. "A human? What makes you think your species can succeed where we have failed?" "I don't know if I can succeed," Minji said honestly. "But I would like to try." "Try?" Dr. Zeleth made a sound like breaking glass. "We have been trying for 3 centuries. The falcons cannot be touched. They cannot be caught. They cannot even be approached. They exist in our dimension and others at the same time. They are impossible to study." Commander Rakseth led Minji to her room. It was small but had a good view of the planet. "Dr. Park, I will be direct with you. My government sent me here to find a way to use the falcons as weapons. The Vorthek want to study their interdimensional abilities. The Zephyrians want to copy their technology. Everyone wants something from these creatures." "What do you want?" "From them?" Minji asked. "I want to understand them," Rakseth said. "In all my years as a soldier, I've never seen anything like them. They are not just animals. They are something more. Something that makes me feel ... small." The next morning, Minji went to the observation deck. It was a large room with windows all around. A few scientists sat at computers watching the planet. Below, she found an empty chair and sat down to watch. The sky falcons appeared around noon. First 1, then 5, then 20. They were the most beautiful things Minji had ever seen. They were huge, with wings that spread wider than a house. Their feathers caught the light from the sun and turned it into rainbows. They moved through the air like dancers, spinning and diving and climbing. "Magnificent, aren't they?" said a voice next to her. Minji turned to see a woman with blue skin and 4 arms. She was one of the Zephyrian scientists. "I am Dr. Kalanine," the woman said. "I have been studying the falcons for 30 years. Have you ever gotten close to one?" "Close?" Dr. Kalanine laughed. "I once got within 100 meters. The falcon looked at me for exactly 1.3 seconds, then disappeared. It was the greatest moment of my career." They watched the falcons together. The birds seemed to play in the air, chasing each other through the purple lights of the planet's atmosphere. Sometimes they would fly so high they almost reached the station, but they always turned away at the last moment. "Why do you think they avoid us?" Minji asked. "Fear, perhaps? Or maybe they know something we don't." As the day went on, more scientists came to watch. They brought their scanners and cameras and computers. They pointed machines at the falcons and pressed buttons. The falcons immediately flew away. "Every time," Dr. Kalanine said sadly, "every time we try to study them, they leave." That evening, Minji went to the station's library. She read everything she could find about the sky falcons. The first reports were 300 years old. Every alien race had tried to capture or study them. The Corvani had sent war fleets. The Vorthak had built crystal cages. The Nethri had tried to hypnotize them with mind powers. Nothing had worked. Some scientists thought the falcons were made of pure energy. Others believed they lived in multiple dimensions at once. A few thought they were actually ancient space gods. No one knew for sure. Late that night, Minji stood alone on the observation deck. The falcons were gone, but the planet's lights still danced in the darkness. She thought about her grandmother back on Earth, who had told her stories about the eagles that once flew over the Korean mountains. "Maybe," she said to herself, "we're trying too hard." She didn't know that tomorrow everything would change. Dr. Park Minji woke up early the next morning. The station was quiet. Most of the scientists were still sleeping. She made herself a cup of coffee and walked to the observation deck. The room was empty except for one security guard who was half asleep at his post. Minji sat in her favorite chair by the big window. The planet Ethros spun slowly below them. The purple and green lights on its surface looked like a painting. She had been thinking all night about what she read in the library. Every scientist had tried to catch the falcons or scan them or study them. They all wanted to take something from the birds. But what if that was the problem? Minji sipped her coffee and watched the sunrise paint the planet in gold and orange. Colors, she thought about her grandmother's stories. The old woman had told her that the eagles in Korea were sacred. People used to leave them alone and just watch them fly. Maybe that's what I need to do, Minji said to herself. Just watch. Around noon, the sky falcons appeared. First one came flying up from the planet. Then another. Soon there were dozens of them dancing in the space around the station. Minji put down her coffee and forgot about everything else. The falcons were even more beautiful than yesterday. Their feathers caught the sunlight and turned it into every color she had ever seen. They moved like they were swimming through water instead of flying through empty space. The largest falcon was amazing. It was twice the size of the others. Its feathers looked like they had tiny stars inside them. When it spread its wings, Minji could see patterns that looked like galaxies. "You're beautiful," she whispered. The large falcon suddenly stopped flying. It turned its head and looked right at her through the window. Minji felt her heart skip. A beat. The bird's eyes were deep blue, like the ocean. For a long moment, they just looked at each other. Minji did not move. She did not try to take a picture. She did not call for the other scientists. She just sat there and enjoyed the moment. The falcon tilted its head like it was thinking. Then it did something that made Minji gasp. It flew closer to the station. "Oh no," Minji said. "Don't let them see you." But it was too late. Dr. Kalanine walked into the observation deck carrying a scanner. She saw the falcon and dropped her machine. By the 4 moons of Zephyr, she shouted. A falcon! It's right there. The falcon heard her voice and started to fly away, but then it looked back at Minji. Their eyes met again. The bird seemed to make a decision. Instead of disappearing like all the others, it flew in a circle around the station. Get the others! Dr. Calanine yelled at the security guard. Get Commander Raxith! Get everyone! Within minutes, the observation deck was full of excited scientists. They brought cameras and scanners and computers. They all started talking at once in different languages. Don't move! Commander Raxith ordered as he ran into the room. Nobody. Move! But it was too late. The falcon saw all the machines and people. It flew higher, getting ready to disappear like all the others always did. Wait, Minji said softly. She stood up slowly and walked to the window. Please don't go. The falcon stopped. It looked at her again. She's talking to it, Dr. Zeleth whispered. His crystal body was flashing with excitement. Impossible, said another scientist. The falcons don't communicate with any species. Minji ignored them all. She pressed her hand against the window and looked into the falcon's eyes. I know you can understand me somehow. I'm not like them. I don't want to hurt you or study you. I just think you're beautiful. The falcon flew closer. It was now just a few meters from the window. Amazing, Commander Raxith said quietly. In 300 years, no one has ever gotten this close. What is she doing differently? Dr. Calanine asked. She's not doing anything, said Dr. Kim Hyun-woo, another human scientist who had arrived with the group. That's the point. The falcon seemed to be thinking. It flew around the station one more time, then did something that shocked everyone. It landed on the outside of the station, right next to the window where Minji was standing. The room went completely silent. 20 scientists from different worlds all held their breath. The falcon was huge up close. Its head was bigger than Minji's whole body. Its feathers were not just rainbow colors. They seemed to move and shift like liquid light. When it breathed, small sparkles of energy came from its mouth. Dr. Park? Commander Raxith said very quietly. What do you want to do? Minji looked at the falcon. It was looking back at her. She had an idea, but it was crazy. I want to go outside. She said, What? Dr. Calanine gasped. Are you insane? The falcon came to me, Minji said. Maybe it wants to meet me properly. Absolutely not, Commander Raxith said. It's too dangerous. But Dr. Kim Hyun-woo stepped forward. Commander, with respect, we've been trying to study these creatures for 3 centuries. This is the first real contact we've ever had. Maybe we should trust Dr. Park. If something happens to her, Earth will blame us, Commander Raxith said. If I don't try, we'll never learn anything, Minji said. Please let me try. The falcon seemed to understand what they were talking about. It tapped the window gently with its beak. It's asking for her to come out, Dr. Zeleth said in amazement. I've never seen anything like this. Commander Raxith thought for a long moment. Fine, but you wear a spacesuit. And you take a safety line. And if anything goes wrong, we pull you back inside immediately. 10 minutes later, Minji stood in the station's airlock. She wore a white spacesuit with a clear helmet. A strong cable connected her to the station. Her hands were shaking with excitement and fear. Are you ready, Dr. Park? Commander Raxith asked through her radio. Ready, she said. The airlock opened. Minji stepped out into space. The falcon was waiting for her. It floated in the vacuum like swimming was natural for it. When it saw her, it made a sound like singing. The sound somehow reached her even though there was no air to carry it. Hello, Minji said softly. The falcon flew closer. It was so big that Minji felt like a small child next to it. But she was not afraid. The bird's eyes were kind. You're magnificent, she told it. The falcon seemed to smile. Then it did something that changed everything. It stretched out one of its great wings and held it steady in front of her. I think it wants you to touch it, Dr. Kim Hyun-woo said through the radio. Minji looked at the wing. The feathers were so beautiful they made her want to cry. Slowly, carefully, she reached out her hand. The moment her gloved fingers touched the falcon's wing, the universe exploded with light and sound and feeling. Minji gasped as images flooded her mind. She saw stars being born and dying. She saw dimensions she had never imagined. She felt the Falcon's thoughts mixing with her own. The Falcon was ancient. It had lived for thousands of years. It had seen the rise and fall of civilizations. It was not just an animal, it was a guardian of something vast and important. And now, for the first time in 3 centuries, it had found someone worthy of its trust. The connection lasted only a few seconds, but it felt like forever. When it ended, Minji was crying inside her helmet. "Are you all right?" Commander Raxif asked urgently. "Yes," Minji whispered. "I'm perfect." The Falcon made its singing sound again, and then it spread its wings and flew away. But before it disappeared, it looked back at her one more time. Minji knew it would return. Inside the station, 20 scientists stared at her in complete silence. They had just witnessed something impossible. History had been made. The next morning, Minji woke up with a strange feeling. Her dreams had been full of flying and stars and voices she could not understand. She felt like something important was calling to her. She got dressed quickly and ran to the observation deck. The large Falcon was already there, waiting outside the window. When it saw her, it made that beautiful singing sound. "You came back," Minji said with a smile. Commander Raxith was already in the room with Dr. Zeleth and Dr. Kala-9. They had been waiting for hours. "Dr. Park," Commander Raxith said, "we need to talk about what happened yesterday." "What about it?" Minji asked. "You touched a Sky Falcon. You made contact. In 300 years, no one has ever done that." Dr. Zeleth's crystal body flashed with excitement. "We recorded everything. The energy readings were incredible. The Falcon was sharing some kind of information with you. What did you see?" Dr. Kala-9 asked. "What did it show you?" Minji looked at the Falcon through the window. It was watching her with those deep blue eyes. She could feel something like a warm hand touching her mind. "It showed me that it's very old," she said. "And that it's not just an animal, it's something more. More how?" Commander Raxith asked. Before Minji could answer, the Falcon tapped the window again. It wanted her to come outside. "I think it wants to show me something else," Minji said. An hour later, Minji was back in her spacesuit. This time she felt less afraid. The Falcon was waiting for her, floating in the empty space like it was swimming. "Hello again," she said. The Falcon came closer. It stretched out its wing just like before. When Minji touched it, the world exploded with visions again, but this time the images were clearer. She saw a place that was not quite space and not quite another dimension. It was like a realm made of pure thought and energy. In this place, the laws of physics worked differently. Time moved in circles. Space could be folded like paper. "The Sky Realm," she whispered. The Falcon's voice spoke directly into her mind, though she knew it was not really a voice. It was more like understanding that appeared in her thoughts. Yes, the Sky Realm, the place between places. We are its guardians. "We?" Minji asked. The Falcon showed her more visions. She saw hundreds of Sky Falcons flying through the strange realm. They were not just birds. They were protectors of something ancient and powerful, long ago. Another race found the Sky Realm. They used it to travel between stars. But they became greedy. They wanted to control it. To use it as a weapon, Minji saw images of a great war. Ships that could bend space itself. Weapons that could destroy entire planets by folding them out of existence. The Sky Realm was almost destroyed, so we became its guardians. We closed it to all who would misuse it. We have been waiting. Waiting for what? For someone who seeks not to take, but to understand. Someone who appreciates beauty without wanting to possess it. The connection ended, and Minji floated in space with tears in her eyes. The Falcon made its singing sound and flew away. But she knew it would return. Inside the station, the other scientists were very excited. "The energy readings were even stronger today," Dr. Zeleth reported. "Whatever that creature is doing, it's sharing massive amounts of information. We need to study this," Dr. Kala-9 said. "We need to understand how the communication works." "No," Minji said firmly, "we need to respect it." Commander Raxif looked at her with sharp eyes. Dr. Park, my government wants answers. What exactly is this creature telling you? Minji thought carefully before answering. It's telling me that the Sky Falcons are guardians of something important. Something that could be very dangerous in the wrong hands. What kind of something? Dr. Collinine asked. I'm not sure yet. But I think it's better if we go slowly. Dr. Kim Hyun-woo, who had been quiet until now, spoke up. Maybe Dr. Park is right. These creatures have avoided contact for 3 centuries. There must be a reason. But not everyone agreed. That afternoon, Minji heard Commander Raxif talking to someone on his private communication device. He was speaking in the Corvani language, but she understood enough to know he was reporting to his superiors. Yes, sir, he said. The human has made contact. We believe the creatures have access to advanced technology, possibly interdimensional travel. Yes, sir, we are investigating military applications. Minji felt sick. She had been afraid this would happen. The next day, more ships arrived at the station. Military vessels from the Corvani Empire, science ships from the Vorthek Collective, even a diplomatic vessel from the Zephyrian hegemony. What's happening? Minji asked Dr. Kim Hyun-woo. Word is spreading, he said sadly. Every major power in the galaxy wants to know about your Falcon friend. It's not just my Falcon friend, Minji said, and they're not going to like what's coming. She was right. That afternoon, representatives from 6 different governments arrived at the station. They all wanted to meet with her. They all had demands. The Corvani general wanted her to teach their soldiers how to communicate with the Falcons. The Vorthak scientist wanted to study her brain to understand how the connection worked. The Zephyrian diplomat offered her a fortune in exchange for exclusive access to the Falcon technology. You don't understand, Minji told them. It's not technology. It's trust. And trust can't be bought or stolen or copied. Everything can be copied, the Vorthak scientist said. We just need to understand the mechanism. The mechanism is respect, Minji said. Something most of you have never learned. The Corvani general was not happy. Dr. Park, you are being difficult. My empire has the right to this discovery. No one has the right to the Sky Falcons, Minji said. They choose who they trust. That evening, Minji was alone on the observation deck when the Falcon returned, but this time it was not alone. 3 other Sky Falcons flew with it. They all looked agitated. When Minji went outside to meet them, the large Falcon's touch filled her mind with worried images. It showed her the military ships surrounding the station. It showed her the weapons they carried. It showed her the greed. In the hearts of the politicians and generals, they want to use the Sky Realm as a weapon, the Falcon's voice said in her mind. Just like the others did long ago. I won't let them, Minji promised. You may not be able to stop them. They are many, you are one. Then teach me, Minji said. Show me how to protect what you're protecting, the Falcon hesitated. The knowledge is dangerous. It could corrupt you as it corrupted others. I'm not interested in power, Minji said. I'm interested in doing what's right. The Falcon studied her for a long moment. Then it made a decision that would change everything. Very well. But know this, once you become a guardian, you can never go back to being just human. Are you ready for that? Minji thought about her quiet life back on Earth. She thought about her simple job studying animals. She thought about the easy path. She was giving up. Then she looked at the beautiful creature floating in front of her, and at the stars beyond, and at all the wonders of the universe that needed protecting. Yes, she said, I'm ready. The Falcon's wing touched her again, and this time the connection was deeper than ever before. Minji felt her consciousness expanding, touching the edges of the Sky Realm itself. She was no longer just Dr. Park Minji, xenobiologist from Earth. She was becoming something new, something that the galaxy had never seen before, a human guardian of the Sky Realm, and the universe would never be the same. The news spread across the galaxy like wildfire. Within a week, Research Station Ethros was surrounded by hundreds of ships. Military fleets, science vessels, and diplomatic cruisers all crowded around the small station. Minji had not slept well in days. Every time she closed her eyes, she could feel the sky realm calling to her. The connection with the Falcon had changed her. She could sense things she had never felt before. The emotions of people around her, the energy flows in space, the delicate balance that kept reality stable. "Dr. Park, you look terrible," Dr. Kim Yunwoo said when he found her in the station's cafeteria. "When did you last eat?" "I'm not hungry," Minji said. She was staring out the window at all the ships. "They're going to try something stupid, aren't they?" "Yes," Yunwoo said sadly. "The Korvani are planning to capture a Falcon using some kind of energy net. The Vorthak want to use mind control crystals. The Zephyrions are building a machine they think can force a bond." Minji felt sick. They don't understand. The Falcons aren't pets or tools. They're guardians of something that could destroy the galaxy if it falls into the wrong hands. Have you tried explaining that to them? They don't listen. They only see power they want to steal. Dr. Kim Yunwoo sat down next to her. "Minji, I need to tell you something. I got a message from Earth this morning. Our government is planning to send a military ship to extract you." "What?" Minji turned to look at him. "They want to bring you back to Earth for protection and study. They think the aliens might try to kidnap you to get access to the Falcon technology. But there is no technology." Minji said, "It's not a machine or a weapon. It's a living relationship based on trust." "Try explaining that to politicians," Yunwoo said. "They think everything can be bought, stolen, or copied." That afternoon, the first disaster happened. A Vorthak science ship launched a probe at a small group of Sky Falcons. The probe was designed to scan their minds and copy their thoughts. The moment the probe touched one of the Falcons, the bird screamed. It was not a sound that any throat could make. It was pure psychic pain that every creature on the station felt in their bones. The Falcon disappeared instantly. But something else happened too. The space around the probe began to tear. A black crack appeared in the air like someone had broken reality itself. "Emergency!" Commander Rax's voice echoed through the station. "All ships pull back." Spatial distortion detected, but it was too late. The crack grew bigger. Through it, Minji could see the swirling chaos of the sky realm. Energy poured out of the tear like blood from a wound. "It's destabilizing," Dr. Zeleth reported, his crystal body flashing red with alarm. "The dimensional barrier is breaking down?" The tear grew larger. Ships near it began to shake as gravity went crazy. Some were pulled toward the crack. Others were pushed away by invisible forces. Minji ran to the observation deck. She could feel the Sky Falcon's panic through her connection. They were trying to seal the tear, but they were struggling. "I have to help them," she said. "How?" Commander Raxith demanded. "You're human, not some cosmic guardian." But Minji was already putting on her spacesuit. She could feel the Falcon calling to her. Not the large one she had bonded with, but all of them. They needed her help. When she stepped outside the station, the scene was chaos. Dozens of Sky Falcons flew in complex patterns around the tier, their feathers glowing with energy. They were weaving some kind of barrier, trying to close the wound in space. The large Falcon flew to her immediately. When it touched her, she felt its desperate thoughts. The barrier is failing. The probe damaged the connection between dimensions. "We cannot seal it alone. What can I do?" Minji asked. "You are bonded to both worlds now, human and guardian. You can help us weave the barrier." Minji did not understand what that meant, but she trusted the Falcon. She reached out with her mind, the way she had learned during their connection. She felt for the edges of the tier. It was like trying to sew together two pieces of cloth that were made of pure energy. Every time she thought she had grabbed one edge, it slipped away. The sky realm was so different from normal space that her human mind could barely understand it. But slowly, with the Falcons helping her, she began to learn. She pushed with her thoughts. She pulled with her will. She imagined the tier closing, and slowly it began to shrink. The work was exhausting. Sweat poured down her face inside her helmet. Her head felt like it was going to explode. But she kept going. Finally, after what felt like hours, the tier snapped shut. Space returned to normal. The Sky Falcons made their singing sound, but it was tired and sad. When Minji got back inside the station, she collapsed. Dr. Kim Hyun-woo caught her before she hit the floor. "Are you all right?" he asked. "No," she whispered. "This is just the beginning." She was right. Over the next few days, more ships arrived. The Corvani tried to capture a Falcon with energy nets. The Falcon escaped, but another tier opened. This one was smaller, but it took Minji and the Falcons 3 hours to close it. The Zephyrians built a machine that was supposed to force a psychic bond with the Falcons. When they turned it on, 5 tiers opened at once. One of them was big enough that a small moon got sucked through it before they could seal it. "This has to stop," Minji told Commander Raksif after the latest disaster. "Every time someone tries to force contact with the Falcons, they damage the barriers between dimensions. If this keeps happening, the tiers will get too big to close." "What do you suggest?" Commander Raksif asked. "Tell everyone to stop. No more experiments. No more attempts to capture or control the Falcons." "I can tell them," Commander Raksif said. "But they won't listen. There are too many governments involved. Now too much potential power at stake. Then they're going to destroy everything they're trying to steal." Commander Raksif looked tired. "Dr. Park, I need to ask you something. These tiers in space ... how dangerous are they really?" Minji thought about what the Falcon had shown her. The visions of the ancient war. The civilization that had tried to weaponize the sky realm and ended up destroying themselves. "If enough tiers open at once, the barriers between dimensions will collapse completely," she said. "The sky realm and normal space will crash into each other. The laws of physics will break down, stars will stop burning, planets will be torn apart. Everything we know will end?" Commander Raksith stared at her. "And you're the only one who can prevent this?" "Me and the Sky Falcons together. But we can't keep fixing tiers faster than people make them." That night, Minji sat alone on the observation deck. She was so tired she could barely keep her eyes open. But she knew she had to stay awake. The large Falcon was coming to visit her, and she could feel that it had something important to tell her. When the Falcon arrived, its touch filled her mind with urgent images. More ships were coming. Bigger fleets with more powerful weapons. The Corvani Empire was bringing their entire battle fleet. The Vorthic Collective was sending their most advanced mind control specialists. "They do not understand the danger," the Falcon told her. "They see only power to be taken. They will not stop until they destroy everything. So what do we do?" Minji asked. The Falcon showed her one last vision. It was a test. Not for her, but for the entire galaxy. The Sky Falcons had faced this choice before. With the ancient civilization that had discovered the Sky Realm, we can close the Sky Realm forever. Seal it so that no one can ever access it again. Or we can trust that there are those who will prove worthy of its protection. What happens if you seal it forever? The Sky Falcons will fade away, the realm will be lost. The knowledge and power it contains will be gone from the universe. And if we fight to protect it, then tomorrow we will face the greatest test of all. The battle for the Sky Realm, and if we fail... The Falcon did not need to finish the thought. Minji could see it. In her mind, if they failed, everything would end. "I understand," she said. "What do you need me to do?" "Be ready," the Falcon said. "Tomorrow you will discover what it truly means to be human. And the galaxy will learn whether your species is worthy of the trust we have placed in you." As the Falcon flew away, Minji looked out at the hundreds of ships surrounding the station. Tomorrow they would all try to take what they wanted by force. Tomorrow she would have to stop them. Tomorrow the real test would begin. Minji woke up at dawn to the sound of alarms. Red lights flashed through the station. Commander Raksith's voice echoed from the speakers. "All civilian personnel report to emergency stations." This is not a drill. Minji ran to the observation deck. What she saw made her heart stop. The Corvani battle fleet had moved closer during the night. 50 warships now surrounded the station. Their weapons were aimed at the planet AS Ross. Dr. Kim Hyun-woo found her at the window. "They're demanding you surrender yourself to them," he said. They want to take you back to their homeworld for questioning. What about the other governments? The same thing. Everyone wants you. The Vorthak are threatening to attack the Corvani if they take you. Zephyrians are saying they'll destroy the station before they let anyone else have you. Minji felt sick. This is exactly what the Falcon warned me about. Commander Raxith arrived with his security team. Dr. Park, I have orders from the Corvani High Command. You are to come with us immediately. No, Minji said simply. This is not a request, Commander Raxith said. His hand moved to his weapon. You will come voluntarily or we will take you by force. Commander, Dr. Kim Hyung-woo stepped between them. This is a research station. We're supposed to be neutral. Neutrality ended when she made contact with the creatures, Commander Raxith sighed. This is now a matter of galactic security. Before anyone could react, the large Sky Falcon appeared outside the window. But this time it was not alone. Hundreds of Sky Falcons surrounded the station. They flew in perfect formation, their feathers glowing with energy. By the 7 suns, Commander Raxith whispered. I've never seen so many of them. The largest falcon looked directly at Minji through the window. She could feel its thoughts in her mind. The time has come. Are you ready? Ready for what? She asked out loud. The falcon's answer came not in words but in a vision. She saw the sky realm opening. She saw the power that flowed through it. She saw herself standing at the center of it all, holding the balance between order and chaos. You must choose now. Let us seal the sky realm forever and fade away, or help us protect it from those who would destroy it. Minji looked at Commander Raxith, who was staring at her with greedy eyes. She looked at the warships outside, all waiting to take her prisoner. She thought about all the politicians and generals who saw the Sky Falcons as nothing more than weapons to be captured. I choose to protect it, she said, the moment she spoke. Those words, everything changed. The largest falcon spread its wings, and suddenly Minji could see the sky realm overlapping with normal space. It was like looking at 2 photographs printed on top of each other. Reality became thin and flexible. What's happening? Dr. Kim Hyun-woo asked, but his voice sounded far away. Minji felt the falcon's consciousness merging with hers. But it was not just one falcon. All of them were connecting with her. Hundreds of ancient minds, all sharing their knowledge and power. Now you understand, their combined voice said in her thoughts. This is what it means to be a guardian. To protect the sky realm, you must become part of it. Minji felt herself changing. Her awareness expanded beyond her human body. She could sense every ship around the station. She could feel the emotions of every person on board. She could see the weak points in space where reality was already starting to crack. Dr. Park! Commander Raxith shouted. What are you doing? But Minji was no longer just Dr. Park. She was something new. Something that had never existed before. A human guardian of the sky realm, and then the Corvani fleet opened fire. The first energy blast was aimed at the observation deck. It would have killed everyone in the room. But as the deadly beam approached the station, Minji reached out with her new consciousness and touched the sky realm. Space folded. The energy blast suddenly changed direction. Instead of hitting the station, it curved around it like water flowing around a rock. The beam flew harmlessly into empty space. Impossible! Commander Raxith gasped. More ships began firing. Hundreds of energy beams and missiles flew toward the station, but Minji was ready for them. She could see all of reality like a vast piece of cloth. When the weapons came, she simply folded the cloth so they missed their targets. The Corvani Admiral's voice came over the communication system. Cease this resistance immediately. Surrender the human or we will destroy the entire station. Minji felt anger rise in her chest. These beings wanted to use the sky realm as a weapon. They wanted to tear apart the barriers between dimensions. For their own power. They cared nothing for the damage they would cause. No, she said, and her voice somehow reached every ship in the fleet. She reached deeper into the sky realm, the aurora lights of planet. Ethros began to move. They rose up from the planet's surface like living things. Purple and green energy flowed through space, surrounding the warships. What is this? The Corvani admiral demanded. The aurora lights were not just beautiful. They were manifestations of the Sky Realm's power. Where they touched the ships, the weapons stopped working. The engines shut down, the shields flickered and failed. "Warning!" came panicked voices from different fleets. "All systems offline. We are dead in space." But Minji was not trying to hurt them. She could have crushed their ships like paper. She could have sent them all into the dark spaces between dimensions. Instead, she simply made it impossible for them to fight. "Listen to me," she said, and her voice reached every mind in the fleet. "The Sky Falcons are guardians of something ancient and powerful. For 300 years, they have protected the galaxy from those who would misuse this power. They chose to trust me because I came to them without weapons or demands. I came with respect." She showed them visions of what she had learned. The Sky Realm in all its beauty and danger. The ancient civilization that had tried to weaponize it and destroyed themselves. The delicate balance that kept reality stable. "This power cannot be stolen or copied," she continued. "It can only be shared with those who prove they are worthy. And worthiness is not measured by the size of your fleet or the strength of your weapons. It is measured by your willingness to protect instead of destroy." Some of the ship commanders were listening. She could feel their minds opening to new possibilities. But others were still filled with greed and anger. The Corvani admiral was one of the angry ones. "Enough of this nonsense. All ships, fire everything you have. Destroy the station and capture the human." But when the admiral gave the order, nothing happened. His weapons would not work. His engines would not start. The aurora lights had drained all the power from his fleet. Minji felt the Sky Falcon's approval flowing through her mind. She had passed the first part of the test. She had shown that she could use incredible power without being corrupted by it, but the test was not over. "Dr. Park," came a new voice over the communication system. It was Admiral Park Sunho from the Earth Defense Force. "This is Admiral Park of the human fleet. We have come to bring you home safely." Minji's heart sank. An Earth military ship was approaching the station. Her own people had come to take her away. "Admiral Park," she said sadly, "I cannot come home." "Not anymore, Dr. Park. You are a human citizen. You belong with your own species." "I belong here," Minji said. "I am a guardian now. This is my responsibility." "You have been corrupted by alien influence," Admiral Park said. "We will cure you of this contamination." The Earth ship fired a special beam at her. It was designed to disrupt psychic connections. The humans had built it specifically to break her bond with the Sky Falcons. The beam hit Minji like a hammer. "Blow!" she screamed as pain shot through her mind. The connection with the Falcons wavered. For a moment she was just human again, but then the largest Falcon flew directly into the beam. It absorbed the pain, taking it into itself to protect her. "No!" Minji cried. The Falcon was hurt. She could feel its agony. But it sent her one last message. This is what it means to be worthy. To sacrifice for others. To protect those who cannot. Protect themselves. Show them, Sky Speaker. Show them what humans can truly be, with the Falcon's sacrifice giving her strength. Minji reached deeper into the Sky Realm than ever before. She felt the fundamental forces that held the universe together. She touched the very fabric of space and time. And then, with all the power of the Sky Realm flowing through her, she did something that would be remembered for 1,000 years. She healed the Falcon. Not just its wounds, but its very essence. She poured life and strength into it until it glowed like a small star. Then she reached out to every other creature that had been hurt in the fighting. She healed the crew members who had been injured when their ships lost power. She repaired the damage to the station's hull. The entire galaxy watched in amazement as a human woman used godlike power not to destroy, but to heal. "This is what we choose to be," Minji said to all the fleets surrounding her. "This is humanity's answer to your test. We choose to protect. We choose to heal. We choose to serve something greater than ourselves." The Sky Falcons sang in harmony, the aurora lights danced with joy, and across the galaxy beings of every species looked at humanity with new eyes. The test was complete, and humanity had passed. 1 year later, Minji stood on the same observation deck where everything had begun. But now, everything was different. The research station had grown. New sections had been built to house the Guardian Academy. Students from dozens of worlds came, here to learn about the Sky Realm, but they were not ordinary students. Each one had been chosen by a Sky Falcon. "Sky Speaker," came a voice behind her. Minji turned to see Li Minho approaching. He wore the simple blue robes of a Guardian trainee. On his shoulder perched a young Sky Falcon with silver feathers. "You don't have to call me that," Minji said with a smile. "Minji is fine. Sorry," Minho said. "I'm still getting used to all this." Minho had been a soldier in the Corvani fleet. During the battle a year ago, he had watched Minji heal his wounded comrades instead of destroying them. When his admiral ordered him to continue fighting, Minho had refused. He abandoned his post to help evacuate civilians from damaged ships. 3 days later, a Sky Falcon had landed on his shoulder. "How is your training going?" Minji asked. "Slowly," Minho admitted. "The Falcon keeps showing me visions of the Sky Realm, but I can't understand half of what I see. It's like trying to read a book written in colors instead of words." "That's normal," Minji said. "It took me weeks to learn how to communicate with them properly. The key is not to try so hard. Just listen with your heart instead of your mind." They watched as more Guardian trainees practiced in the space around the station. Each one worked with their bonded Falcon, learning to touch the Sky Realm safely. Some were making progress. Others were struggling. There was Park Sunmi, a former Vorthak, crystal scientist who had given up her research to protect endangered species. Her Falcon glowed with warm golden light. There was Chen Wei, a Zephyrian engineer who had quit his job building weapons to help build hospitals instead. His Falcon's feathers sparkled like diamonds. Minji, Dr. Kim Hyun-woo approached them. He wore the white robes of a Guardian Master now. His own Falcon, a magnificent creature with feathers like storm clouds, flew beside him. "The council meeting is about to start." The Guardian Council met every week in the station's main hall. Representatives from all the major governments came to discuss requests for Sky Realm access. It was Minji's job as the first Sky Speaker to decide who was worthy. In the meeting hall, ambassadors from 20 different worlds waited for her. They all had requests. The Telhari wanted help healing their dying son. The Mokani needed assistance moving their people from the planet about to be destroyed by asteroids. The Rixi begged for help stopping a plague that was killing their children, but there were other requests too. The Corvani still wanted weapons. The Zephyrians wanted faster ships. The Borthan Empire wanted to use the Sky Realm to spy on their enemies. "Let's start with the Telhari request," Minji said as she took her seat at the head of the table. Ambassador Kress of the Telhari stood up. He was tall and thin, with skin that looked like tree bark. "Sky Speaker, our sun is dying. Our world grows colder each day. Soon all life on our planet will end. We have heard that the Sky Realm can heal any wound. Can it heal a star?" Minji closed her eyes and reached out with her consciousness. Through her bond with the Sky Falcons, she could sense the Telhari sun. It was old and sick, burning itself out faster than it should. "Yes," she said, "the Sky Realm can heal your sun. But first you must prove you are worthy of this help." "How?" Ambassador Kress asked. "Your people must choose 3 guardians. They will come here to train with the Sky Falcons. If the Falcons accept them, we will heal your son." Ambassador Kress bowed deeply. "We accept these terms." Next came the Mokani representative. The Mokani looked like giant butterflies with rainbow wings. Their ambassador's voice was like music when she spoke. "Sky Speaker, asteroids will destroy our world in 6 months. We need help moving our people to a new planet. Can the Sky Realm help us travel to safety?" "The Sky Realm can fold space to make the journey instant," Minji said. "But again, you must provide guardians. And you must promise that your new world will be shared peacefully with any other species that might need it." "We promise," the Mokani ambassador sang, but when the Corvani representative stood up, Minji felt the Sky Falcon's discomfort through their bond. "Sky Speaker, General Vorth said. The Corvani Empire requests access to Sky Realm technology for defensive purposes. Our enemies grow stronger each day. We need better weapons to protect our people. No, Minji said simply. But Sky Speaker, General Vorth, your empire has started 3 wars in the past year. You have conquered 2 peaceful worlds and enslaved their populations. The Sky Falcons will not help you become stronger. General Vorth's face turned red with anger. This is discrimination. You help other species but refuse to help us. I help species that prove they want to protect life, not destroy it, Minji said calmly. When the Corvani Empire stops making war and starts making peace, we will reconsider your request. The general stormed out of the room. Minji felt sad but not surprised. Some species were not ready for the responsibilities that came with Sky Realm access after the meeting. Minji walked through the academy. In one room, Guardian trainees were learning to heal wounds using Sky Realm energy. In another, they practiced folding space to move objects without touching them. In a third room, they studied the history of the ancient civilization that had almost destroyed the Sky Realm. The most important lesson was always the same. Power without wisdom was dangerous. The Sky Realm could give someone the ability to move mountains or heal planets, but if that person's heart was filled with greed or hatred, they would eventually destroy everything they touched. Sky Speaker, came a small voice. Minji looked down to see a young human girl named Kim Yuna. She was only 12 years old, but a Sky Falcon had chosen her 3 months ago. It was rare for the Falcons to bond with someone so young. What is it, Yuna? Minji asked. The Falcon is showing me something scary, Yuna said. A dark place where the Sky Realm is sick. There are things there that want to escape into our world. Minji knelt down to look into the girl's eyes. Can you show me? Yuna nodded and took Minji's hand. Immediately, Minji saw the vision through the child's eyes. In the deepest parts of the Sky Realm, there were shadows that moved like living things. They were fragments of the ancient civilization that had tried to weaponize the realm. Their hatred and greed had become so strong that it took on a life of its own. They're getting stronger, Yuna whispered. The Falcon says they might try to break free soon. Minji felt a chill run down her spine. This was a new threat. One that she and the other Guardians would have to face together. Don't worry, she told Yuna. We'll protect the galaxy from them, just like we protect it from everything else that would do harm. But even as she said the words, Minji knew that their greatest challenges still lay ahead that evening. She stood alone on the observation deck where her journey had begun. The large falcon that had first chosen her landed softly beside her. It was no longer just her falcon. It had become the leader of all the Sky Falcons, just as she had become the leader of all the Guardians. We've come so far, she said to her. Old friend. Yes, the falcon's voice whispered in her mind. But this is only the beginning. The galaxy is vast, and there are many worlds that need protection. Many species that must choose between wisdom and destruction. And if they choose destruction, then we will stop them, together, human and falcon, guardian and guide. We will protect the innocent and teach the worthy. We will be the bridge between what is and what could be. Minji looked out at the stars. Somewhere out there on 1,000 different worlds, people were making choices. Some were choosing to help others. Some were choosing to hurt them. Some were learning that true strength came from serving something greater than themselves. And here, at the Guardian Academy on Research Station Ethros, a new generation was being trained to protect them all. The Sky Falcons soared through the aurora lights of the planet below. No longer were they alone in their ancient duty. They had found partners. They had found friends. They had found a species that understood what it truly meant to be strong. Humanity had passed the test. But the real work was just beginning. In the years to come, the Guardians would face many threats. Dark forces from the depths of the Sky Realm, warlike species that refused to learn peace. Ancient evils that had been sleeping since the universe was young, but they would face these challenges together. Human and alien, student and teacher, Guardian and Sky Falcon, and no matter what darkness came, The light of their bond would always shine bright enough to hold it back. The galaxy was safe, and it would remain safe. As long as there were those willing to put service before self, protection before power, and love before fear, the Sky Falcons sang their ancient song. The aurora danced in endless spirals. And in the heart of it all, Dr. Park Minji smiled. She had found her purpose. She had found her home. She had found her wings.